The ultimate challenge of life is to take your results and jot this word down: fashion. Fashion for yourself a good life. Fashion for yourself a good life, like weaving a tapestry. A good life does not happen by accident. My teacher, when I was 25 years old, gave me two phrases, and I want to give you those two phrases as I wrap it up here today. And these phrases helped to change my life. Here's the first one. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. He gave me a little simple formula to consider. A wealth formula. The first 6 years of my life, I wound up broke. First 6 years of my economic life, I wound up broke. Second 6 years of my economic life, I wound up rich. He gave me a whole new economic philosophy. I studied it. I practiced it. I became wealthy. But here was the second phrase he gave me. If you wish to be happy, study and practice the art of happy living. Up until then, I had no concept that happiness was a study. My best hope for happiness at age 25 was just to go around with my fingers crossed, hoping something would make me happy. And he said, no, happiness is something you fashion. Happiness is an art. It's not an accident, it's an art. And so I'm asking you to study and practice the art of living a happy life. And start with your family. If you want a happy evening, you have to design it. It's not going to happen by accident. If you want a happy weekend, you've got to design it. You've got to fashion it. You've got to weave it like a tapestry with your own hands, your own ideas. Don't leave an evening to the winds. Don't leave a child's birthday to the winds. Don't leave a weekend that's important just to the winds. Let the winds blow. Fashion the day. Fashion the weekend. Fashion the evening. Engage in this kind of happy living called lifestyle. For your family. Another part of it is culture. You got to go to the plays. You got to see the movies. You got to go listen to the orchestra, the symphony. You got to let these things affect you. Enjoy that part of your life. Fashion it and enjoy it. Take an hour, take a couple of hours, take an evening, and go soak up the symphony, soak up the music. And when you do this with family, with culture, lifestyle, here's what happens. Number one, you can enjoy it. It's a spendable commodity. But here's the most exciting part of all. The feelings you get from here, the coin, the currency, the worth and the value you get from fashioning a happy life, fashioning a conversation with a child, fashioning a love experience. A good marriage is not a marriage that's left to the wind. It must be well woven. A friendship must be well constructed. A cultured life must be well woven, well constructed. A love affair must be well woven. And even from the simplest of lives. Better to live in a tent on the beach and be in love than to live in a mansion by yourself. But now here's the last part. This is the most exciting. Not only can a well-fashioned lifestyle experience be enjoyed, here's the powerful part. It can be invested. If you fashion this well, love affair, marriage, culture, evening, weekend, all of this good stuff now, that inspires you now to read, study and grow, develop your philosophy, strengthen your attitude, pick up the disciplines. This whole cycle, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it once you understand how to live this way. Lifestyle is simply learning how to live well. Here's the ultimate challenge of life. I've worked on this, you cannot believe how hard, since age 25. And that is to fashion, good word to jot down, fashion for yourself lifestyle, or what we call the good life. That's the ultimate challenge. To take your results, take your money, take your results, take the return, take the equities you've gathered, and now fashion for yourself a good life, like weaving a tapestry. And Mr. Shoaff gave me all kinds of examples on lifestyle. He gave me 2 phrases that helped change my life. In case you have to leave early, let me give you these 2 phrases. It'll be worth the price of coming and being here today. Just take these 2 phrases home, in case you have to leave early. Here's number 1. Shoaff said, Mr. Rohn, if you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. When he said that, I said, my gosh, I don't know anybody that studies wealth. Where am I going to learn it? He said, never mind, Mr. Rohn, now that you've met me, if you'll be with me for a while, he said, and if you'll commit yourself, he said, I will teach you. And he taught me. He taught me the books. He taught me the stuff. Changed my life. By the time I was 31, I was a millionaire. The man taught me well. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. If you were to show me your present economic plan, in a personal conversation between you and me, you say, Mr. Rohn, let me disclose for you my current economic financial plan for the future. Would I get so excited? I'd say, hey, I'm going to go across the country and lecture on your plan. And if the answer is no, Mr. Rohn, you probably wouldn't want to go across the country and lecture on my plan. Here's my question to you. Why not? Why wouldn't you have a superior, powerful financial plan that's taking you to the places you want to go? I'm asking you, if you find yourself caught like I was at age 25, make the personal commitment today and say, I'm going to study and I'm going to change. And 5 years from now, nobody's going to be able to say, how come you don't have a superior plan living in a superior country with superior opportunity? Nobody's going to be able to say that 5 years from now. If you'll make that commitment, I'm telling you, this will be one of the most exciting days of your life. Not because of my seminar. It'll be one of the most exciting days of your life because of your commitment to this simple little process I've outlined for you. Here was the second phrase. Mr. Shoaff said, Mr. Rohn, if you wish to be happy, study happiness. I didn't know happiness was a study. My best hope for happiness at age 25 was to just go through the day with my fingers crossed. Hoping somehow something would make me happy. Shoaff said, no, Mr. Rohn, happiness is not something you postpone. Happiness is not something off in the future. Happiness is something you design. You've got to get the word. Happiness is something you design. Happiness is a study. Happiness is a practice. Happiness is an art. It's not an accident. It's an art. And anybody that wants to can study, practice the art of happy living. Happiness is like culture. Money doesn't make you cultured, but culture is within the grasp of all of us. How much is a book on sophistication in the marketplace? $4,000? No, $40. I'm telling you, in America, everything's available. Everything's within reach. All you have to be is committed to it and make it a study. Culture is a study. Sophistication is a study. It's not an amount. It's not an account. It's a study. Money doesn't make you sophisticated and cultured. I know a guy that's rich. He's a clod. Nothing much more pitiful than a rich clod. I mean, you know, it's a sad thing to see. Money doesn't make you sophisticated. Only study and practice makes you sophisticated. Only study and practice makes you cultured. And only study and practice makes you happy. Study and practice makes you rich. Key phrase, don't be lazy in learning. 1, how to do well. Next, how to live well. Don't be lazy in learning and practicing the art of economics, practicing the art of productivity, and practicing the art of lifestyle. Shoaff taught me in such simple terms. Shoaff said, Mr. Rohn, if you're getting your shoes shined,
Shoe shine boy has done an exceptional job. You look down, you got one of the world's all-time great shines. And you pay him. Now, you got a little change in your hand. Question pops in your mind. Should I give him 1 quarter or 2 quarters as a tip from a neat shine? Here's what Shoaff said. If 2 amounts pop in your mind, always go for the higher amount and become the higher thinking person. That helped change my life. Here's what he said. Become a 2-quarter person. Now, you can tell that was a long time ago when a quarter was a good tip. Now it takes dollars. But just substitute 1992 dollars for quarters. Shoaff said, hey, if you are thinking 1 quarter or 2 quarters, and you say, well, no, I'll just give him 1 quarter. He said, that'll affect you the rest of the day. The rest of the day, you'll look down, see this great shine, you'll say, I got to be really cheap. 1 lousy quarter, tip from a shine. But he said, if you'll go for the 2 quarters, Shoaff said, you can't believe the extra happiness you can buy for just an extra quarter. That's called studying and practicing the art of lifestyle, which means living well. Money doesn't make you happy. Father wads up a $20 bill, throws it at his son, and says, if you need the darn stuff that bad, take it, just get out of my face. How sad, a father with money and no joy. He studied economics, but he never studied joy. I'm asking you to turn that around. Turn that all around. I did a seminar one time, St. Louis, Missouri. When I finished a seminar like this, a man walked up and said, Mr. Rohn, you've really gotten to me. He said, I'm going to change my philosophy. I'm going to change my attitude. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change everything. He said, you've touched me today. And he said, you'll hear about me. You'll hear my story someday. I said, okay. Right? A lot of people, right, say things. Sure enough, a few months later, I come back to St. Louis, did another seminar. When I finished my seminar, I saw this man come walking up. I didn't remember his name, but he said, I'm sure you'll remember me as the man who said, I'm going to go make some changes. You've touched me today. I said, I do remember you. He said, I'm telling you, things are already happening for me. I cannot believe in just a matter of months. He said, one of the things I decided to change was my relationship with my family. He said, my wife and I have 2 lovely teenage daughters. Parents couldn't ask for any more beautiful, lovely daughters. And he said, I'm the only one that's given them trouble. He said, these daughters of ours have never given us any trouble. He said, I've usually been the one all these years, giving all the trouble and all the stack. He said, my daughters love to go to the rock concerts, and I'm always giving them trouble. They have to beg me for the money. He said, I don't want you to go. You stay out too late. Music's too loud. You're going to ruin your hearing. You won't be able to hear the rest of your life. And he said, I just get on their case. And he said, they keep begging, keep begging. Finally, when they beg long enough, I say, all right, here's the money. If you have to go that bad, just go. So that's how I've been up until now. But he said, after I left your seminar, I decided to change all that, called lifestyle, living well. He said, you won't believe it. Not long ago, I picked up the newspaper, and I saw an advertisement, and I knew my 2 daughters, it was one of their favorite performers, was coming to town. He said, guess what I did? He said, I went down and bought the tickets myself and brought them home, put them in an envelope. And when I saw my daughters later that day, he said, I handed them this envelope, and I said to my 2 lovely daughters, you may not believe it, but inside this envelope are 2 tickets for the upcoming concert. They could not believe. And he also added, you'll be happy to know begging days are over. Now they cannot. He said, now don't open the envelope till you get to the concert. They said, okay. So they go to the concert, come concert time, open up the envelope, hand the tickets to the usher. He says, follow me. And he starts down front. The girls say, hey, hold it, hold it. Something must be wrong. He takes another look, says, no, nothing's wrong, follow me. 10th row, center. Now they cannot leave. 10th row, center. The only tickets they were able ever to beg for was, right, 3rd balcony, can't see. He said, I stayed up a little late that night. Sure enough, a little after midnight, my 2 daughters come bursting through the front door. One of them lands in my lap. The other one's got her arms around my neck. They're both saying, you got to be one of the all-time world's great fathers. He said, Mr. Rohn, you're right. I can't believe. Same money, different father. He said, I've started making the changes, and I decided to start with my teenagers, my girls. He said, what a difference it's making in my life. And I'm telling you, you can do that with your lifestyle. You can do it with your sales career. You can do it with your management career. You can do it with any part of your life. If you're looking for equities, unmatched. Do not curse the only thing you have. Don't complain about the only thing you have, which is seed and soil, sunshine, rain, miracle, and seasons. But start changing and processing and evaluating things like we're covering today, and this process of change will take off for you. Of all the parts of our life we want to work well, perhaps the most important is lifestyle. Mr. Schoaf gave me one of his strongest concepts when he said, don't just learn how to earn, learn how to live. And that's what lifestyle is all about, learning how to live. Here's one of the great challenges of life, being happy with what you have while in pursuit of what you want. I have found it a practice well worth exercising with skill. Now consider this. Some people have plenty of beautiful things filling their days, but they get little happiness from them. Some people have money, but they have trouble finding joy in their lives. Imagine a father wads up a $5 bill and throws it at his son, saying, here, if you need the darn stuff that bad, take it. Same money, poor style. And remember, it's not the amount that counts. It's the style that counts. Mr. Schoaf taught me lifestyle in those early days, starting with small amounts. Remember, the challenge is to get joy from your life and what you have to share. It's not the amount that counts. It's the uniqueness, the love, and the attitude that counts. Even people of modest means can experience a sophisticated lifestyle. They simply learn to save up some of their Pepsi money for a bottle of fine wine. Don't spend all your money a quarter at a time. Save up and buy something of special value, something fine, or something that lasts, or something you are proud of, or a gift of value to give to someone special. Even with modest means, you can save your candy money for a concert. And for a sophisticated person, a few may be better than many. Better a few treasures than a house full of junk. Lifestyle is a matter of awareness, values, education, and disciplined taste. It is an art that brings joy as it's practiced, not just a subject to be studied. It is the deliberate decision to savor and enjoy all the experiences and possibilities of life. Remember, all good things are upstream. A conscious act from a unique thought. That's where the pleasure is. And the act serves as a bridge between dreams and reality. So develop your lifestyle a little more. Your style of seeing, giving, sharing, enjoying. It's not the amount that counts, but the experience of choosing to live with style. I remember saying to Mr. Schoaf one time, if I had more money, I would be happy. And he gave me some of the better words of wisdom when he said to me, Mr. Rohn, the key to happiness is not more. Happiness is an art to be studied and practiced. He said, more money will only make you more of what you already are. More will only more quickly send you on to your destination. He said, if you're inclined to be unhappy, if you get a lot of money, you will be miserable. More money will only make you more. More money will only amplify. If you're inclined to be mean and you get a lot of money, you will be a terror. If you're inclined to drink a little too much, when you get a lot of money, you can now become a drunk because you can drink everything. So style is not more. Style is an art, a genius, a design. Lifestyle is reserved for those who are willing to study and practice the higher arts of life. Lifestyle is culture, music, dance, art, sculpture, literature, plays, concerts. Lifestyle is a taste of the fine, the better, the best. Mortimer Adler, the philosopher, says, if we don't go for the higher tastes, we will settle for the lower ones. So develop an appreciation for the fine. That is a worthy purpose. Developing an appetite for the unique things in life. Study the art and reach for the best. To have the best in the time we have available to us, that is the quest. Remember, it's not the amount, it's the imagination. My lady and I were on a trip to Carmel, California one sunny summer day to do some shopping and exploring. I stopped to have the car serviced at a gas station. This young man, about 18 or 19, I would guess, came bouncing out to the car with a big smile, and he said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yes. A full tank of gas, please." Well, not only did he fill the tank with gas, he checked every tire, washed every window, even the moonroof, checked everything, and all the time he was working, he was whistling and singing. My lady and I couldn't believe all the service and his obvious happiness. The young man brought me the bill, and as I was signing it, I said, "Hey, you really have taken good care of us. I appreciate it." And he said, "I really enjoy working. It's fun for me. I get to meet nice people like you." We couldn't believe it. This kid was something else. I said, "My lady and I are going to Carmel, and we want to drink one of those $2 milkshakes on the way up there. Where is the nearest Baskin-Robbins?" He said, "That's a great idea. Baskin-Robbins is just a few blocks away." And he told us where to find it. And he said, "Don't park out front. Park around to the side so your car won't get hit." What a kid. So we drove to Baskin-Robbins, walked in, and checked the flavor board, and ordered milkshakes. However, instead of ordering 2 milkshakes, we ordered 3. Then we drove back to the station. The young kid dashes out to the car again and says, "Hey, I see you got your milkshakes." I said, "Yes, and this one is for you." When I offered it to him through the window, he couldn't believe it. He said, "For me?" I said, "Sure. With all the fantastic service you gave us, I couldn't leave you out of the milkshake deal." He said, "Wow, no one has ever bought me a milkshake." I said, "That's probably true. Have a nice day." Then I buzzed up the window and we drove away. When I looked in the rearview mirror, there he was, holding that milkshake, a big surprised smile on his face. Now, what did that cost me? Only $2. Hey, I've enjoyed and shared the memory of that experience 100 times. For just $2. Remember, it's not the amount that counts. It's the style. That same day, I guess I was feeling extra creative. When my lady and I got to Carmel, I drove straight to the flower shop. We walked inside, and I said to the florist, "I need a long stem red rose for my lady to carry while we go shopping around Carmel." She was some impressed. The florist said, "Well, we sell them by the dozen." I said, "I don't need a dozen. I just need one." He said, "That'll cost you a couple of dollars for just one." I said, "Wonderful. There's nothing worse than a cheap rose." I selected the rose, handed it to my lady, and said, "Here, carry this while we stroll around town." She was impressed. And the cost? $2. Just $2. A couple of hours later, we were having some refreshments, and my lady looked across the table and said, "Jim, I just thought of something." I said, "What's that?" She said, "I think I'm the only lady in Carmel today carrying a rose." I said, "That's probably true." For $2, can you imagine? $2. Remember, it's not the amount. Hey, just 2 ideas and a total cost of $4 for unique experiences and sweet memories. Just 2 modest examples of how easy it is to put style in your life. Make sure you don't miss out. Don't miss anything you can enjoy. Be sure you live your life in style. Here's something else to think about. Did you ever hear where the expression tip came from? As in tipping the waiter or waitress in a restaurant. Mr. Schoaf taught me that it began as a symbol for the phrase, "to ensure promptness." Now, Schoaf said, If a tip is to ensure promptness, when should you give it? Answer, up front. See, I didn't know that. I said, no, you have lunch, and if you get good service, you leave a good tip. If you get lousy service, no tip. And he said to me, no, Mr. Rohn. Sophisticated people don't take a chance on good service. They ensure good service by giving the money up front. I said, wow, what a way to live. I had never thought of that. So the next time you have someone special to take to lunch, call the waitress over, arm around the shoulders and say, here's $5. Would you take good care of me and my friend? Shof said you won't believe what happens. They do what's known as hover. They hover around your table. Without the insurance, you are usually looking around saying, where is my waitress? Has she gone on a break? Same money, different style. One last major point. Life in style is also life in balance. Make sure you pay attention to all the values and dimensions of your life. One is family. If you have someone you care about, there is no value to match that. One person caring for another is life in the best of style and value. Protect it with a vengeance. If a chair gets in the way, I suggest you destroy the chair. It was wisely said so long ago, but is still true for today. There are many treasures, but the greatest of these is love. Better to live in a tent on the beach and have a love affair than to live in a mansion by yourself. Ask me. I know. Family must be cultivated like an enterprise, like a garden. Time and effort and imagination, creativity and genius must be summoned constantly to keep it flourishing and growing. Next is friendship. A priceless value, friendship. Friends are those incredible people who know all about you and still like you. Friends are those people who are coming in when everyone else is leaving. And, as someone once suggested, be sure to make the kind of friends on your way up who will take you in on your way down. Life is a bit of both up and down. But with true friends, friends who care regardless of your circumstances, the ups are more automatic and the downs less devastating. Traveling around the world, I have made some unique friends. I've also got some strange friends. One of them is a thief. He steals, but you'd love him. He's really a neat guy, but he really does steal. Now, he's not a big thief. He's just a little thief, but he is a thief. Once in a while, someone reminds me, your friend steals. I say, I know. What can I do? I talked to him about it. He's just my thieving friend. I do have one very special friend, though. If I was stuck in a Mexican jail and accused unduly, I would call this friend. Guess why I'd call this friend? He would come and get me. Now that is a friend. Someone who would come and get you. Guess how much you would spend to get me? Right, as much as it would take. Guess how long you would try to get me out? You're right, as long as it would take. That is a friend, someone who would come and get you. Now, I also have some casual friends who would probably say, call me when you get back. I guess we all have some of those friends. But friendship is so vitally important to those in search of the good life. Make sure your friendships get the attention and the effort they deserve. Properly nourished, they will give back to you that priceless treasure of both pleasure and satisfaction called the good life. And remember, the good life is not an amount. The good life is an attitude, an act, an idea, a discovery, a search. The good life comes from lifestyle that is fully developed, regardless of your bank account, so that it provides you with a constant sense of joy in living and fuels the fires of commitment to all of the disciplines and fundamentals that make life worthwhile. What is wealth without character? Industry without art? Quantity without quality? Enterprise without satisfaction? Possessions without joy? Become a person of culture to add to the whole culture, for we are most certainly a product of all the values of our community and country. Become that person of unusual substance that brings an added measure of genius to the whole, so that our children and the children of many will be the beneficiaries of the treasure.